Poggioli, Life Leadership Connection Coach. And I gotta say, I had quite a few questions around shame, judgment, and frustrations when it comes to loneliness. So let's unpack that a bit. If you've not watched the videos from a couple months ago, I would definitely strongly recommend that you watch the ways women experience shame and the way men do. With women, we experience it from I have to be perfect, I have to be able to handle it all, I have to just like be this like strong force of, am I good enough, am I perfect enough, and not show any sort of weakness of being able to like manage and do it all. When it comes to men, the shame is completely different in the aspect of like, don't fail, don't look stupid, don't be wrong. And so we have this like sense of pressure as a female to be perfect. And then as men, it's like, don't fuck this up. I have to be right. I have to be knowledgeable. I have to be successful. And when it comes to that element, especially with any EQ, any intimacy and vulnerability, it makes it hard for a person who has been raised, or a nervous system that has been raised and taught and conditioned to not seem weak, to not be wrong, to not fail, to then soften and be able to admit that something is wrong, or admit and share that they actually want and desire something, or that something is scary to them, or it doesn't feel safe. And that is one of the most common conversations I have, is helping men have the courage to ask their wives or partners for more intimacy, to be able to feel more connected. Because when you're working 50 hours a week, 60 sometimes, it's like you come home and you just want to connect. But then on the other hand, with women, is there resentment? Is there frustration? Is there abandonment that they're experiencing? So then you have these two different lives of people that are working, and it could be a female too. It could be a person that's working 50 to 60 hours, and then another person that may be working 30 or 40 hours. And then one's feeling lonely, one's feeling abandoned. But with the sense of communication and the inhibiting factor that technology brings, or if you don't have hobbies or communities, things you look forward to outside of work and or outside of your family dynamic, it leaves you in a risk to where you're only relying on that inner circle that I talked about a couple weeks back. So we want to be making sure that we own the reality of like how we are feeling, and we're able to work towards sharing that. It's not to say that it won't be scary. Like some of these clients that I have, their spouses are very defensive and critical. So they literally don't feel safe enough to communicate their wants, needs, and desires. So it's about really understanding, what is your defense mechanism? What is your conflict resolution strategy? If you don't know what those are, I have a couple modules that I'd be happy to send you so you can learn this about yourself. But it's about really embodying who you are and what it is you want, so that loneliness does not have to be the health inhibiting factor that it will result in becoming. So get clear on how shame resides in your life. How present is it for you? And with your relationships, can you speak freely? Can you request openly? And if you're not focusing on the middle circle or the external circle, do. Start now. You will not regret it.